Hello and good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Today is June 27th. My name is margidonaldson, and I am a Honor Society top seller as well as a leader here with Avon. And uh, I am the administrator, I guess, of the Sail into Beauty Stars Facebook group, as well as one of the mentors on the Avon Team Support Facebook group. So I want to welcome you to this broadcast today. I'm hoping that we can build an audience, but if we can't, you know what? I just keep going. That's what I do. So I wanted to talk to start off today. Oh, hello, Cecilia. How are you? You will be so happy to know I went to the post office today and there was a package on its way to you. So much for that. Okay, so today is the very first day of a new campaign. Yay, we're in campaign 15 now. And as you can tell, it says best sale ever, up to 65% off. Let me tell you about this brochure. This brochure, you will want to make sure that you have it in your customers' hands by this weekend, and that you are calling your customers next week before, I would say even before the middle of the week. Next, believe it or not, is 4th of July. So probably even call them on Tuesday and follow up and say, hey, I'm placing my order. What can I get you today? So you got another customer. Yay! Good job. Yay! So make sure that you share your book with your new customer. So anyway, even though this campaign does not end until July 9th, never go by that date, especially on a book like this. Two things I'll cover here. Number one, the reason why this is the best sale ever, we go and have books like this about twice a year. And what they've done is they've put outlet items into the actual brochure. So the first, let me see here. The first 41 pages of the brochure, or I guess you should say 40 because it starts on page 2. The first 40 pages of the brochure is basically an outlet. And the thing with the outlets is, and keep my daughter in your, oh yes, yes. So that's even another reason why, Cecilia, you really want to get this campaign. That's your customers, follow up with them, I would say before Tuesday. That way, 4th of July, and then on, I guess that would be Friday, is when your daughter's surgery will be. You'll have the products, you can put them aside while you're taking care of her, and then you can get them back out and deliver to your customers. But at least you will have the products, because if pages, the first 40 pages are the, as I've said before, the outlets are while supplies last only. And then secondly, I always stress, now that we are in flexible ordering, do not wait until the last day. Don't wait until the day before the last day, because everything in the book has a potential for running out. They might have all the stock that they need at the beginning of the campaign, but then you've got 350,000 Avon representatives out there that are all going after the same amount of product that you need for your customers. Things sell out. Things go on back order. Don't let that happen to you. Be one of the very first to that finish line each campaign. And then that way, as soon as you have placed your campaign 15 orders, go off and running with the next campaign, which is campaign 16. For you, Cecilia, campaign 16 should be your gold mine, because the kids stuff. Okay? So my big thing to say about campaign 15 is get her done as soon as possible. because these are while supplies last and you don't want them to run out on you, okay? Hello, Cindy, how are you? Cindy is the master mentor of the Avon Team Support Group, and I hope that everybody has joined not only this group where I am, but also Cindy's group, Avon Team Support. So I'm actually seeing comments today, which is so awesome because I don't always see the comments. So I'm hoping that that I'll continue to see the comments come up on this. Okay, any questions on campaign 15? Any questions on why it is so important to get those orders in early each campaign? Do not wait until the last minute. This morning, when I woke up, there were 11 orders from our team, 11 orders on hold. They placed the orders before campaign 14 closed out, but they didn't have the orders paid for, or at least they didn't have the previous balance paid for. And so the orders go on hold. And so now all of those are showing up as campaign 15 orders. There again, we've got limited supply and things run out. Okay, enough said. I'll get books ASAP. Yes, 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 yes. You've got to have books. Books are your store. If you don't have books, I mean, yeah, you can sell online. You can show that people, show your website to people online, and you can text them the brochures, but there's something about having that magical Avon book in your hands. You know, you can take it to a doctor's office. You can take it to, if you have kids and any kind of lessons and you're waiting around, you're like, oh, I'm bored. Having the book with you, it's just gold. So anyway, okay. The next thing I want to talk about, which it's coming up here really soon. I mean, we're talking less than a month here. I am going to be getting on an airplane to go to Columbus, Ohio for RepFest. Not everybody can afford RepFest this year. I get it. It's kind of far away for us here in the Southwest. But I'm telling you, this is any of the RepFests, and they're held once a year. Any of them are just priceless to go to. It costs money to get there, but I'm going to tell you right now how to plan for it, how to make it as inexpensive as possible, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Let me tell you a little bit about my background. I have been an Avon representative for 18 years. When I started my Avon business, my daughter was 11 months old. She wasn't even a year old yet, 11 months. She's grown up with this business. This is all she knows that her mom knows how to do is sell Avon. But prior to starting my business, prior to even having my kids, I was a credit counselor. My college degree is in family resource management and consumer sciences, with an emphasis in family financial management. Yes, every single last word of that is on my diploma. And whenever I would fill out resumes, yes, I would have to somehow make room for all of that on my resume and the job applications. But anyway, my point here is I know how to manage family budgets. That is what I went to school for. I spent 12 years as a credit counselor. And then after I left the credit counseling business, I went into the investment business. And I spent 5 years there, and I held my Series 6 and 63 licenses. When I was a credit counselor, I was a certified consumer credit counselor. I was also a certified housing counselor with HUD. So I know how to manage family finances. One of the things that I love the most about my business, about my Avon business, is that it's earning me money, yet giving me the opportunity to stay at home with my kids. Like I said, my daughter wasn't even one when I started my business. So I was able to take her to gymnastics. I had a daycare lady because of the fact that I was working part-time when Emily was young. but I would work part-time, so I wouldn't take her over to the daycare until 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was 10 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, there was a gymnastics group that I would take Emily to, and so cute Emily, she would call it mynastics. So if I ever happen to say it wrong like that, you'll know why. But anyway, I was able to take her to gymnastics. I was able to do the field trips with the kids. I was able to do all of these things because of my business. But what I wasn't able to do with my business was to travel because of my business. What I mean by that was I wasn't able to go to any of the conventions, any leadership opportunities outside the immediate Phoenix area, you name it. I wasn't able to do that because my kids were too young. They were still dependent on mom. My daughter, even when she went to Washington, D.C. on a field trip, on a school field trip, she brought me home the cutest little car ornament. I forget what they're called, but little hanging thing down, and it said "Mom Taxi Driver." And it's still hanging on my wall. And when Sandy comes up next month to my house to spend the night before we jet off to RepFest, she'll be able to see my mom taxi car ornament. Anyway, once my daughter was of driving age, and I taught her how to drive. We'd spend afternoons out there doing that. Anyway, once she was able to drive, then I was like, finally, woohoo! I was able to have the flexibility to go on Avon trips. So my very first RepFest was Las Vegas 2 years ago. Well, I took a Greyhound bus, or like a big bus like that, with several other representatives. So the cost was very minimal. And we drove up there, and I had a roommate, so I was able to split the cost of my room. And yes, we had meals out, and believe me, the meals in a hotel are not cheap. We were at the MGM Grand. But I was able to pay for it all with my Avon earnings. Not a cent of that came out of my family's income, out of my husband's job. I paid for it all with my income. Last year, RepFest was in Nashville. That now meant that I had to take a plane over there. And then I learned, when I was in Vegas, I learned that it's so rush that there's tons of things to do with RepFest, but there wasn't really enough time to relax. So I decided to stay an extra night last year. So that meant that I was gone for 4 nights. Well, that meant 4 nights of hotels. I found through Facebook groups with Avon, I found 3 roommates to be with. One who happened to go to my high school way back when, but she was a year ahead of me, so I didn't really know her. And then 2 other complete strangers. But I'm telling you what, it really split the cost. We got along great, no problems. I shouldn't say one was not a complete stranger. She was to me, but she's on Cindy's team. So it was like staying in the room with my sister. Anyway, there's that by splitting the cost of the room with the other representatives, I was able to really pull down the total cost. Yes, I was back to having the hotel meals, but it all turned out to be fairly affordable. And transportation to and from the airport was Uber. And there, we found a whole bunch of people in the airport there in Nashville that were Avon, that we were all going to the same hotel. We all split the cost of the Uber. So I think my ride to the hotel last year was maybe $4. And then the ride back, for some reason, it was more expensive. Maybe we had less people in the car, but I think it was like $8 to go back to the airport. So very, very minimal. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the drivers both ways got either a business card or an Avon brochure from at least one of us, if not all of us. Because you never know where you're going to find your next recruit, your next customer. And with the beauty of the online stores, everybody in the United States can be your customer. So What I would suggest that you do, if you have any desire whatsoever to go to RepFest this next year, start now. Start on June 27th, 2018. Start planning for RepFest 2019. Now, I have been told that we will find out when we're at RepFest this year in Columbus where RepFest for next year will be. So I'm going to come back and revisit this whole plan once we know. But this is what we're going to do. So there, got a bitty piece of paper here, but it's going to be enough to plan this out. So there's airfare, and I'm just going to ballpark it and say $500. My best suggestion for airfare, if we're going to be in a city where we're able to do this, take Southwest. Because with Southwest, bags fly free, and it's on their commercials, and they seriously mean it. You can take 2 bags completely free. And what happens when you go to RepFest is we always get a big swag bag. Well, we get full-size products. Yeah, let's see. Let's say that it's this. I have a little black dress sitting next to my computer. Let's say that we get next year's fragrance in our swag bag. Can't take this back on the plane. Or I guess you could take it back on the plane, but you would have to make sure that it all fits into that quart-size bag. This is 1.7 ounces, so it falls under that 3-ounce rule, but you have to have room for it in 1 quart-size bag. You might run out of room, so you have to pack it in a bag. So you can't just go with an overnight bag. You actually have to pack your bag and check it. So taking Southwest can really, really cut down on that cost. So let's say airfare, $500. Then we've got, I'm not even going to figure out airport transportation for you to get to your local airport, because hopefully you can get a ride with a loved one or a friend or a neighbor or something like that. Trade them for a bottle of fragrance, whatever. So we got airfare. We've got transportation from the airport to the hotel. So I'm going to say we're going to do Uber, and let's just say it's $10 each way, so that's $20 for transportation. Okay. Then we've got 3 to 4 nights in a hotel, and this is so important. Split the cost. Yeah, you might be with people that you don't know, but if you're a male, room with another male. If you're a female, room with other females. You'll all be needing to use the restroom or getting ready with the bathroom at the same time, but get up extra early. Make sure that you're the first one to the bathroom each day. Don't be a bathroom hog. Do as much as you can out in the main room, and getting along with all your roommates will be just fine. So I'm going to say 3 nights. And I know I originally said that 4 nights was really cool, but in retrospect, it really was an extra expense that I didn't have to do. And there's evening flights. Wherever we're going to be, I'm sure there's going to be evening flights. And RepFest wraps up usually in the mid-afternoon, I think. So I have last year's guide here. And I'm just trying to see when, let's see. It was kind of a really spread out agenda last year. Closing general session. Yeah, I got over at 3 o'clock. So if you have to be at the airport by 2 hours early, you could take a 6 o'clock flight and be fine. 6 o'clock or after. So I'm going to say 3 nights. I'm going to say $50 a night because you're going to have roommates, right? So 3 times 50 is 150. While you're there, you're going to have meals. Hotel meals are not cheap, but you can, hopefully we're somewhere where there's a restaurant close by. You can always bring your own food. You can, hopefully there's like a happy hour and you can eat appetizers for free while you're having a drink, something like that. But there's box lunches usually all 3 days, 2 days of RepFest. And those are $20. So I'm going to say for lunch, let's say three, so that's $60. 3 at $20 each. Breakfast, you can pack your own granola bars or, what have you. Then dinners, probably figure another $20 a piece for dinners. So that's $60. Is there any expense that I am missing in this scenario? Anything that I'm missing out on? Do I still have an audience? Let me see here. So we've got $500. Oh, registration. Hello. Registration. This year wasn't it 119, I think? So I'm going to write down $500 for airfare, $20 for transportation both ways, hotel, meals, and registration. Okay. So let's see, when I order books, it gives me the option for French and Spanish, but not English. It shouldn't give you an option for French at all. So tell me what you mean by French. And tell me what product number you're looking at, because I can look up what the right product number is. Let's see here. I happen to have my order right in front of me. I want to get this answered before I forget. Order brochures. Oh, this is fun. It's all in Spanish. What did I do here? Yeah, it's all in Spanish right now. Anyway, if you're looking on the same screen that I am where it says order brochures, what I would do is you want to go for English, which is INGLES in Spanish, is English in Spanish. And so I'm looking at Avon C17 brochures, order in packs of 10. Remember when you're ordering brochures that if you want just 10 books, you order 1 pack. If you want 100 books, you order 10 packs, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So no, I don't think you're doing anything wrong, Cecilia. I thought you were, but you're not. I believe it's a system issue right now. But just go for Inglés. Okay? All right. So I came up with a grand total of $909. This does not include any souvenirs that you want to have, that you want to buy, or extras. So if you want to throw those all in, okay, I see that screen. Yay! So if you want to throw, let's just make it around $1,000. Okay, RepFest might cost you $1,000. To some people, that is way more than they can just pull out of their pocket. Well, that's why we're here with Avon. So what you want to do is take that $1,000 and break it down per campaign. And this is going to show you how much you want to sell extra each campaign to set aside for RepFest for next year. You want to have a completely separate account or envelope or something where you do not touch it. You put the money in and it has this expiration date of next year. You can't take it out until it's RepFest time next year. Money stays in there, okay? So I'm showing that when we take $1,000 and we break it down into 26 campaigns starting now, all you need to do is put aside $38.46, or let's just back it off. Let's say $38 per campaign. That's it. And then you can afford to go to RepFest next year. Do you know how little in product you have to sell to save $38 out of your earnings for RepFest next year? That is incredible. So, why go to RepFest? Number one, the people. You get to know people, you get to see people Cecilia, I've never met you. You've never met Cindy. You could go to RepFest and you could meet us. Yes, I could drive down the freeway and go to Tucson and meet you that way, but it's just not the same. I am telling you, the people is number one. The speakers. This year we're having Barbara Corcoran come and speak to us. 2 years ago we had Susie Orman, who is one of my financial mentor guru kind of people because of what she does, and we're very similar in our thinking with financially, and a lot of times I will just see what her answer is just to make sure that I'm on the right track. And then last year we had Scott Kramer from Multi-Brain. We had Tim Gunn from Project Runway came. They gave away cars last year. We get product. The product bundle itself, OMG. What else? You get to see all of the fourth quarter product. You get to huge product expo that you get to see, smell, touch these products. It just goes on and on and on. And then, so this is last year's program. We have breakout sessions, training sessions, specifically for sellers, specifically for leaders. It's just incredible. I mean, I get so much energy when I come out of RepFest. 2 years ago, when I was in Las Vegas, I said, I will never miss another RepFest as long as I live. And I live by that mantra. This year at the President's Club Gala, Yvonne Pacheco, who is a senior development coach with Avon, came over. Well, she was asking people what is so special about RepFest. And I raised my hand. She came over to me. She stuck a microphone in my face. And I said 2 years ago, I will never, ever miss another RepFest as long as I live. And I stay by that. I stick by that. I will never miss another one. It's just too important. The energy, the ideas. And these aren't just the ideas from Avon Corporate. This is ideas from your fellow Avon sisters and brothers. You could be sitting next to somebody at a general session, waiting for the session to begin. You can strike up a conversation with that person, and you can start to share ideas. In the breakout sessions, a lot of times they are, the speakers are actual Avon representatives, and they're giving all sorts of ideas, and then they'll ask the audience for ideas. And so it's this huge sharing of ideas, sharing the business. It's so, the passion and the excitement. You get to meet Betty Palm. You get to see Scott White, the CEO. You get to meet the coaches, the vice presidents. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on of why RepFest is so important. And hey, $38. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. $38 per campaign. Start setting that aside now. I've talked to you before about how to sell, how to go out and recruit, because recruiting, remember that with every recruit that comes along, new recruit that comes along that places at least $150 first or second time order, you are going to get a $20 check. Do it twice a campaign, boom, you never have to do anything else. You just set aside those checks from Avon leadership and recruiting efforts, set those aside, that's your RepFest money. So I really, really, really want to see everybody going to RepFest next year. Starting with campaign 15, let's make that our $38 first dollar in the cookie jar kind of thing. Let's do it. Remember, place your orders very, very early in the campaign because things are going to sell out immediately. So you don't want to have that happen to you. And remember, if something is sold out when you go to youravon.com, hop on over to the online store, check and see if it's available there. If you have at least a $40 order put together there, send off that order. It's free shipping. Yay, love that. And that's going to get you on your way to going to RepFest next year. Books ordered, yay! Because if you don't have those books, if you don't put those books into your customers' hands, you are not going to get those sales. You're not going to get those recruiting efforts. Oh, and the other thing about the books, make sure, and I've said this before as well, make sure that you put on the back of the books to buy or sell, because you want to find those recruits. You want to find those people out there that would love to do what you're doing, that would love to do that, what I'm doing, what Cindy does with her business. So to buy or sell on the backs of every book, and get those books out, and make sure that you follow up by Monday or Tuesday of next week. Get those orders, place those orders, and then enjoy the rest of the week with 4th of July. So on that note, let me tell you, I didn't pick the winner of last week's drawing yet. I was busy doing a whole bunch of other things today, including going to the post office. I should be completely caught up. If you think that you have something coming and it doesn't come within the week, let me know. And then I will check and make sure that whether I sent it out, I have the tracking information, whether I didn't send it out and I need to put you on the list to send it out, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so I will pick that winner and I'll post it on the site. And next Wednesday is 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to all of us. And then the week after that, and actually on this Sunday, July 1st, I'm going to be on vacation. I will be out of state, but not out of the country this time. I'm still able to be reached by call, text, email. But since I'm going to be on vacation, remember, it might take me a little while to get back to you, but I will get back to you because my business is important to me. And to me, yes, it's a business and I'm on vacation, but it's also what I love to do. So if you need anything, let me know. But so I'm going to be gone on 4th of July. There will be no, and of course it's a holiday, so there will be no Midweek Moments with your mentor on next Wednesday. And then the following Wednesday, I'm coming back. I'm flying back home, but I'm not going to be home until the early evening time. So I'm not going to do the Midweek Moments then either. So my next time that I will see you all is going to be July 18th. So as things pop up in the meantime, yes, I'll post them. But if you don't hear from me on the site, on the group, don't worry about it. I haven't dropped off the face of the earth. But I've given you your walking orders, your action orders. Go off, do what you need to do. Start saving aside $38 a week on a campaign. That's $19 a week. That's so doable. We can all be at RepFest next year all together, and we're going to have so much fun. So I love you all, and I wish you a very happy 4th of July. And have a knockout campaign 15. Okay? All right. See y'all later.